taking you on a journey through the world of music, from old school hits and classics to today's biggest projects. The only station that covers heavy metal to hip-hop and R&B and everything in between. The sound of the people is CTR.
Well, guys. It's finally here. It's finally here. Certified Loverboy by Drake is finally here after a long wait for this album. Now, judging by the title of this video, you might notice that I've put, is Certified Loverboy terrible? Well, I'm not going to tell you at the start because then what would be the point in this entire video? No, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through this video and explain to you what I really think about this. But before I do think I should emphasize, when it comes to artists like Drake, I think we have to hold him on a higher pedestal of artistry when it comes to bringing out an album, when it comes to his music, mainly because just of the pedestal that he's put himself on. Like, he's now in the category of your Eminems, your Kanye West, your Jay-Z's, etc. That kind of rapper, that kind of music artist, where you can no longer judge him on just the standard reasons and the standard just the standard rules of other rappers and other music artists. You can't do it because he's on a higher tier. He is on that higher tier just because of the role that he has in music now, the influence that he has in music, the people that he puts on, the people that he decides he doesn't like and put off. So with Certified Loverboy, I went into the album thinking that exact thing. So, is Certified Loverboy trash? Let's find out. So, I'm going to talk positives. I'm going to talk positives about this. First of all, it's very well produced. Incredibly well produced. As all Drake albums are. They're all well produced. The beats on this album are really good, fantastic, also really well produced. However, when it comes to the beats and it comes to like the production of this album, I do feel like it's wasted on Drake. And I say that in a way where Drake has found a tone, a style about 6 years ago that really works for him. And he realised that it worked for him. And he's never ever progressed since then. Drake sounds exactly the same as he did when he made Scorpion. To be quite honest with you, he sounds a lot of the same before he even made Scorpion. And Scorpion, for me, is one of his best projects. Is Scorpion better than this album? Once again, I'm going to go into it and tell you if I think it's better than this album. So, the features on this album are fantastic. You've got so many people on this album. You've got Rick Ross, you've got Lil Wayne, you've got Jay-Z, you've got Travis Scott, you've got Kid Cudi, you've got Lil Durk, you've got Lil Baby. The list just goes on and on and on. For me, the best album... Oh, and by the way, the best songs. Before I talk about my favourite songs on the album, I am aware that at the time of this recording, he's taken over the Apple charts. He's all over the normal charts on the radio and everything. I haven't looked at what songs are in those charts because I didn't want it to taint my opinion of the album, and I didn't want it to taint my opinion of the singles that has come off this album. You know, because if I see, I didn't want to see something at the top of the chart and then that influenced my decision on whether I like the song or not. So what I'm going to say about that is I'll probably check it out after this video. But for me, the best songs on the album are Love All with Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z puts on a brilliant performance on that song. And to be honest, I think he outclasses Drake on it as well. And we'll get to that in a moment, my opinion on that. I do think Fair Trade with Travis Scott may be the best song on the album. Travis Scott's feature is brilliant. It really adds to the album. It really contributes to how good the song is. There's so many other great songs. Way Too Sexy with Future and Young Thug, absolutely fantastic. I love the sample that they've taken off that Right Said Fred song from the 90s. It really fits into the song. Future pretty much carries the weight on most of that song. I think he starts about 40 seconds into the song and then he's all the way at the end, like we're really near the end. I think Young Thug has a little part in it. I didn't even think he needed to be in the song, but hey ho, I suppose if you want names on your album, get Young Thug in somewhere, I suppose, eh? That's another song where Drake doesn't really feature, and I think is really outclassed by his features. Speaking of being outclassed by his features, the best feature on... I'm saying features a lot. The best feature on this album is Lil Wayne. There's a song called You Only Live Twice with Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne's verse on that song is absolutely incredible. Go and listen to that song if you don't want to listen to the whole album, and I wouldn't blame you, because it's an hour and 20 minutes long. It's 21 songs. It's a double album, so I would not blame you if you didn't have the time to listen to it. I've listened to it twice, and it's taken up quite a lot of my Saturday. Go and listen to that song with Lil Wayne. You Only Live Twice. And now let's get to the negatives. And one I mentioned before, I think a lot of the features on this album really outclass Drake in terms of performance, in terms of the effort that they sound like they're putting into the songs that they're on. Even little features like 21 Savage, for example. Like I was happy to hear him on the song. I was happy to hear him contribute to the song, and then Drake comes on and it's just the same. It's the same. He sounds exactly the same. It makes all the songs that he does with no features sound exactly the same, with a few exceptions. I don't mind a few of them. Remorse at the end of the album is okay, I suppose. There's another one that just escapes my mind at the moment. But yeah, that would be my main criticism of this album, that the fact that he's let a lot of the features carry the weight for him on this songs, especially, as I say, with the Lil Wayne and Rick Ross song. Rick Ross puts in a great performance as well. Travis Scott really puts in a great performance on his song. Jay-Z steals Love All from him. If I was to guess what was going to be charting, and as I say, I've not seen the charts, it'd probably be Love All, Fair Trade, You Only Live Twice. The ones with the features on, just because of the names that are on it. I wasn't too keen on the Kid Cudi song that was on near the end. Maybe that was because of the placement on the album, which is another criticism I have of this album. Whoever decided on the track list, whoever decided on what goes after the other on this album, really did a bad job for me. What really took me out of this album was the fact that none of it really flowed. You had hit after hit after hit, but I feel like if that was me, I would have put them in a different order to make it flow a little bit better. I would have put it in a certain way in which there's some ciphers on the song, and there's some really long 5-minute long songs that are quite close to each other on the album, but really take you out of the songs that are in between, if that makes sense. It's a real problem for me, and I didn't want to sit. I didn't want to sit on this album and listen to it twice, thinking, "Oh God, I've got to hear it." You see the time on the song, you think, "Oh God, I've got to listen to 5 minutes of this," which leads me on to another problem with Drake, is that he's kept his style exactly the same. And it's a real problem. Apart from the Ty Dolla $ign, I forgot to mention that. Apart from the Ty Dolla $ign, that song is fantastic. You hear Drake singing, and it really matches Ty Dolla $ign's recent style that he's been inputting into his music. With the exception of that, though, however, Drake really sounds the same on every single song on this album. I didn't want to go into a song not only seeing the amount of time. I didn't want to go into a song thinking, "Oh, I love this beat. This beat's absolutely fantastic. This is amazing." And then hear Drake just come on and spoil it, and because he sounds exactly the same as he did on the previous song. And I know that's a strange insult to throw at Drake, but it's true. You've got a guy here who is the most popular rapper maybe in the world at the moment, who charges $1 million for his features, who comes on songs, on any song, and sounds exactly the same. And I know the sound for him works, but it's okay to experiment sometimes. It's okay to go in a different direction. Maybe it'll help your albums, like you did on this, where not every single song will chart, but when you listen to 21 songs in a row, you don't want them all sounding the exact same. You can let him off a bit when it goes into the charts, because obviously you have a mix of different artists. Then you hear a Drake song and you carry on listening to a different artist because he brings his own personal style. But that doesn't work on a 21 double album, just because there's no change on it. There's some songs on there where you think, "Oh, this is a great beat. I can't wait to see what he brings to the table." And it's just, oh, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. All of these great beats are wasted on Drake in my opinion. I do think he really does need to bring something else to the table, especially when he's making double albums like this. Speaking of double albums, I don't think this is as good as Scorpion. I know Scorpion was a little bit more high octane, high emotionally, like it made you feel a little bit better, as in like it's got some really happy, fun songs on there, real chart heavy songs on there, which is fine, and that's what adds to it in my opinion. I think it makes you feel good, it puts you in a good mood to listen to Scorpion. With this, Drake is, when I say sounding the same, not just his tone, not just his style, he raps about the same things in his songs. I can count on maybe like 5 or 6 occasions on this album where I've listened to a song and he's talked about the exact same thing. For example, how he came up, how he's got some enemies in the business but he's doing better than them because he's richer than them. He's got loads of houses. He sleeps with his fans. He says that in multiple songs. He's even got a moment where the most well brought up part of it whereas he came up from nothing, which, I mean, maybe in his early career he came up from nothing, before he met Lil Wayne and Lil Wayne put him on. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's true, but what I'm rambling. Certified Loverboy, for me, is it trash? No, but as I say, we're judging Drake on a different level as we're judging different artists, just because of the pedestal that he's on and the pedestal that he's put himself on. Is it trash in that sense? Yes, 100%. I think it is. From a 21 song double album, for me to only pick 7 or 6 songs that I think are really good off it, is quite bad. It's really quite bad. There's one song in particular that's really great on this album, and it's because Drake isn't on it, and it's called Yebba's Heartbreak, and it's just Yebba singing. It's a really it's a soul heavy song. I love it. It's fantastic, and I was praying that Drake wouldn't ever come on the song, and it would just be her singing all the way through it, and thank God it was. I know that sounds really bad, but that's how it made me feel, and I was so glad that it wasn't on the album, that he just let someone else just have that song, and that it turned out to be one of the best songs on the album. But in terms of a rating, might as well get to that bit. I'm going to give it a 6. And that's a generous 6. It really is. As I say, for a double album that's an hour and 20 minutes long, I'm going to give it a 6. I was really tempted to give it a 5, maybe even less. The only thing that saves it and puts it up for me are those 7 songs that I've mentioned, and how well the song was produced in terms of beats and in terms of samples. I think that really brings it up. And we all know Drake's a good rapper. Take the style, take the tone out of it. We all know that Drake is a fantastic rapper. He's one of the best. He's really underrated for me when it comes to lyricism, whether he's got a ghostwriter or not. If he has, and whatever, yeah. I mean, but if he doesn't, even better. Really underrated rapper for me, Drake. I'm not going to judge him on his rapping, because he always does come with the fire. He's got great flow, and it's usually amazing what he does. I'm not taking that into account, because that's just a standard thing that a guy of that caliber should have anyway. And that's why this album is getting a 6 out of 10. That's quite low for me. I know a couple of weeks ago, okay, I think I gave KSI a 7, but once again, we're rating Drake on a different pedestal, just like I would rate Kanye West's album on a different pedestal if I ever get the chance to listen to it. I might be making a podcast tomorrow. I think I'm going to be going into talking about why I haven't listened to Donda yet. But we'll get to that another day. Right, guys, that has been it. That is Drake, Certified Loverboy, a rated 6 for me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be trying to upload it a lot better. I mean, I keep saying that on every single video, but I am going to be trying uploading a lot better in the future. But yeah, Certified Loverboy. Let me know if you guys like it. If you like it, then fair play to you. You know, you might be a Drake fan. If you're not a Drake fan and you like it, even more power to you. And another thing, if you are a Drake fan and you don't like this album, that's fine as well. You don't just have to like an album because it's Drake. You can like an album because it's got great music. But with that being said, guys, I'll chat to you later. Have a great weekend and enjoy your Saturday. Peace.
Chart Topper Radio.